What is up, guys? It's the Juggalo Greaser here. This is the first episode of the ALF Podcast, and this is something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Very excited to present to you guys the first episode. Tell you guys what, if you're interested in news about the corrupt government in this country, in racism in this country, go ahead and follow the ALF on Instagram. It's antifascist_libertarian_front. Be posting more stuff on there. More updates about when I'll do more of these podcasts and stuff. But this will not be the last one. It's just the first of many. So the first thing I wanted to talk about on today's episode is something that you probably have already heard about. So I won't stick on it for too long. I'll assume you've already heard the news, but it's definitely the kind of thing that I want to talk about on this show. So, Amaud Arbery. He was murdered, and he was unarmed, and big surprise, he was murdered by an ex-cop. I guess their ways never change, folks. It's, when I first read about this article, there had still been no arrests made, which really pissed me off. Which would be an understatement. It really, really pissed me off. You got to think, when I tell people, I'm a libertarian. I don't support big government. A lot of people say, well, without government, who's there to enforce laws? Well, there you go. The government did a really fucking good job at enforcing law this time, huh? It wasn't till a couple days ago, I think maybe yesterday, that arrests were finally made on the ex-cop and his son. Yep, it's sad to say that it's just another innocent man who was shot just because he was black. And there's no going around that. That is why it happened. It was a race-motivated murder. And that cop is a racist bigot. Didn't want to stay on that one too long because assumed most of you probably already heard about that. It's kind of all over the news. Just wanted to brush over it. Now here's something you might not have heard. So all these open the economy protests. Well, one of these guys who was the head of these protests, he was caught with pipe bombs when his house was raided by the FBI. As a anarchist revolutionary, I'm not gonna judge him too hard, but it's pretty funny to me because these are the same people that Donald Trump says are his fine people. These protesters who want to open the economy back up. Well, there's your fine people, President Trump. Someone about to commit domestic terrorism on a government building with pipe bombs. Related to that, though, armed gunmen stormed the Michigan Capitol. It was a peaceful protest, right? A peaceful protest where a bunch of militiamen raided the Capitol building with guns. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that seems like it only says one thing, and that is, we are here to shoot up the Capitol building. A lot of these people were waving American flags, Trump 2020 flags, and I bet a lot of those people, if you ask them, would call themselves patriots. Patriots that just raided a government building with guns. And once again, I'm not judging them too hard because, like I said, I'm an anarchist, so I have some pretty extremist beliefs as well. But what surprises me is that this is what these guys are getting so angry about, that they're willing to take up arms against the government, that it's them shutting down the economy when stuff has been going on long before that and is still going on now. Why not police brutality? Why not the government spy state? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me, I guess. So much to be angry about right now, and this is what finally push these people over the edge. Now, obviously, in a revolt, we're gonna have to work with these guys. But in my opinion, they're totally misled and hypocritical. What I also find pretty amazing is these guys didn't get shot at by police, and the violence didn't erupt. And I want to say, imagine if this was Antifa. How do you think that would have gone for them? It wouldn't have gone very well at all. In my opinion, I think it would have turned into a massacre. So, I don't know what it is, but I think the government somehow prefers these Trump supporter militia guys to other revolutionary groups like Antifa. In other news, former Ku Klux Klan member was hired by the state of Utah for his CCTV company. Lot to unpack there, huh? In my opinion, CCTV is one of the things that is, to me, shows that the government is becoming more and more authoritarian. So, just the CCTV by itself, I could make a whole episode about. But apparently, the state of Utah has hired an ex-racist to do their CCTV work for him. Now, last I heard, apparently he had been fired. I'm not sure about that, and I'm going to link all these stories in the description below, so you can do your own reading. Just kind of want to brief over them for you. But to me, this is proof that the government openly works with fascist bastards, I don't think it would have been too hard to find out that this guy had, white supremacist ties. Apparently, he was involved in a drive-by shooting of a synagogue from a white nationalist group in 1990. So this is definitely something that didn't go unnoticed when they hired him, guys. I mean, kind of hard to miss something like that. And, you can not get a job for having all sorts of, criminal records, but apparently being part of a drive-by shooting led by a white supremacist group is not a big enough deal for the feds to say, no, we're not going to work with you, because, they want him to give them his CCTV company and technology. Very sad. This next story I thought was pretty funny. Apparently a 13-year-old neo-Nazi plotted an attack on a Las Vegas synagogue. I don't know about you guys. I feel like most neo-Nazis are probably around that age, like 11 to 14-ish, like angry middle schoolers and stuff. Obviously it didn't work, and the kid got busted. I mean, come on. What do you think was going to happen? This raises all sorts of questions, what do we do? Because this is obviously a child, so we can't charge him with anything. Do we charge his parents? I'm not really sure how that's going to play out, but I have to say I kind of laughed at that title because, come on, he's 13 years old, and he thinks he's some sort of neo-Nazi super soldier. What a joke. I want to close this episode off with talking about the Kent State Massacre. Recently, we had its anniversary, and I just want to say, do my part in making sure that nobody forgets that happened. Now, that's the kind of shit that happens in third world countries where governments open fire on their own people, and it was a peaceful protest. 4 people got murdered. So let's not forget that happened. And let's remember that when we ask ourselves why our government right now is unfit to rule us and control us, because they're murderers. They've done it before, and they'll do it again. And they'll keep doing it until we stand up to them. You know? We got to show them that we're not afraid. And you can do that by giving the ALF a follow on Instagram, you guys. I'm trying to get a following going for that. I'm trying to do some more episodes of this podcast. Maybe weekly, bi-weekly, who knows? Maybe every other week. Anytime that there's news that I feel like I need to talk about, though, I'll make sure to hop on the air. Also thinking about doing live streams. What would you guys think about that, huh? I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think of these stories. Make sure you read the stories yourselves, you know. Get your own take. Don't let me tell you exactly what was going on, you know. Give yourself a chance to interpret these stories for yourself. And I'll see you soon on the next episode of the ALF Podcast. Peace.